Good day everyone, I am Lamnil Pirgudu, a BSEd mathematics student. In this video, I will be discussing about National Indigenous People Education Policy. Learning objectives. At the end of the lesson, the students should be able to identify the different Republic Act of the Philippines for indigenous people, demonstrate effective communication and collaboration skills with indigenous communities, stakeholders, and policymakers to advocate for inclusive and equitable educational policies, and appreciate the culture and respect for the indigenous knowledge system, language, and cultural practices, fostering appreciation for the richness and diversity of indigenous cultures. Before we dive into our topic, let us first know who are the indigenous people. Indigenous people are the holder of unique language, knowledge system, and beliefs possesses invaluable knowledge of practices for sustainable management of natural resources. They have a special relation to the use of traditional land. So, indigenous people is a distinct social and cultural group. In the Philippines, the Department of Education or DepEd issues a Department Order Series 2011 entitled National Indigenous People Education Policy Framework, which aims to create educational system that is inclusive and respectful of indigenous learners and will enable them to face various social realities and challenges such as exercising self-determination, prevention and promotion of their local language, digital technology, and intercultural collaboration. The Indigenous People Education or IPED program is DepEd response to the right of indigenous people to basic education that is responsive to their context, respect their identities, and promotes their indigenous knowledge, skills, and other aspects of their cultural heritage. What is the right of indigenous people in education? The right of education of indigenous people to the education is protected by UN Declaration in the Rights of Indigenous People have the right to establish and control their educational system, an institution providing education in their own language. Challenges of indigenous people in education. Education system do not respect indigenous people's diverse culture. There are few teachers who speak their languages and their school often lack basic materials. Educational materials that provide accurate and fair information of indigenous people and their ways of life are particularly rare. So, as a teacher, you need to provide information that needs of your students regarding of their cultural background. Republic Act number 8371 Rights and Privileges of Indigenous People. A recognition of native title and rights of indigenous peoples to ancestral domain. B. Respect for the right to cultural integrity. C. Recognition of indigenous people political structure and governance. D. Deliver of basic service to the indigenous people. E. Respect for human rights. F. Elimination of discrimination. O. No one should be bullied. And creation of an office that will cater indigenous people's needs. Republic Act number 8371 Section 29 Protection of Indigenous Culture, Tradition, and Institution. The state shall respect, recognize, and protect the right of ICC or IPS to preserve and protect the right of ICC or indigenous people to preserve and protect their cultural tradition and institution. It shall consider these rights in the formulation and application of national plans and policies. Why is indigenous people education important? Indigenous education is needed to ensure the survival and transmission of knowledge and worldviews that uphold spiritually, abundance, balance, resilience, and adaptability, sustainability, living within the carrying capacity and making collective decision for the benefits of all. So that's end of my discussion. Thank you and God bless.